Gain of 2 on the play. We're going to third and 8.
And we welcome you viewing the game live now here on Zaleski Sports. We had some computer difficulties earlier. We want to let you know that the entire game, the part that you have missed, will be available as we were recording it for the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see it. The game in its entirety. Edgar leading here 21-0. They have the football. Here's a pitch outside, and it's going to be Applebeck on the carry. He's going to pick up the first down. Got it out across the 45-yard line. A flag is down on the play. That's going to be a hold, it looks like, against Edgar. That's coming back. So let's reset for you here. 4:42 to play in the first half. Edgar leading 21-0. The 3 touchdowns coming from 3 different players. The first play from scrimmage that Edgar had tonight was a 64-yard scoring pass to Avery Normington from Tegan Strite. The 2-point conversion was no good. It was 6-0. Carter Butt then scored on the second play that Edgar had from scrimmage, a 62-yard touchdown run. And the 2-point conversion was good, and it was 14-0. And then Colby Weisenberger scoring on a 7-yard run in the second quarter. The kick was good, 21-0. So that's where we sit. Edgar has the football now, and after that penalty was marked off, it'll be 3rd down and 11. The ball marked at their own 34-yard line. We apologize for not being able to bring you the beginning of this game live, but we are set to go now. Play action again. Strite wants to throw deep. He's trying to get it out to Schuett. It's going to be intercepted. The ball was underthrown, and Marathon gets the pick. And getting the interception for Marathon, Mason Seehafer. He was running stride for stride with Schuett, and Strite just underthrew that one a little bit. Schuett's taller than most of the players trying to guard him, and you got to get the ball up in the air and over the top for him to go up and get it. That time the ball underthrown, and Seehafer able to make the interception, and Marathon has the football now. 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line with 4:19 to play in the first half, and all of their timeouts remaining as well.
21-0 Edgar. Marathon with a turnover here. We'll get their offense back out there.
Marathon comes to the line. 4 receivers in the formation. Hucks him up. Wants to throw. He's got a man. It's going to be picked off. Oh, nearly picked off. Oh, boy. Hartway had a pick 6. If he could grab that one, Keegan Hartway on senior night would have had a memory there. There was nobody in front of him to the end zone, and he just saw that, I think, and took his eye off it for a little bit because he jumped that route and had the interception and just went through his hands, incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Hartway's going to be seeing that one in his sleep tonight. 2nd down and 10 for Marathon. Good blocking by the Marathon front that time. Gave Huxham a time as they had no backs in the backfield with him. 4 receivers in the formation. Now it's 2 receivers. Man comes in motion. They're going to hand it off. This is Annis. Now he cuts it back, tries to cut it outside, and he is going to be wrapped up and dropped. Making the initial hit, Carter Butt. And about 2 or 3 of his teammates helped clean it up as well. So Annis actually lost a yard on that carry.
Loss of 1 on the play is going to make it 3rd and 11.
So 3rd down and 11 here for Marathon. They've converted a couple of 3rd down plays tonight, including one long one earlier in the game. Haven't been able to capitalize on a couple of trips into Edgar territory and turned it over on downs both times. They have it 3rd down and 11 right here. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 out to the far side in single coverage out there. Huxamo wants to throw. They're going to throw a little slant pattern over. Through it. It's intercepted. This time Holloway's got it, and he's running down the far sideline. He's got one man to beat. Can he get it there? No. Knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. That was an ill-advised throw by Huxamo that time. He just threw it into coverage, and Keegan Hartway with the interception and takes it down the far sideline inside the 5-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. He got knocked out of bounds, and they're going to mark it at about the 4. 1st and goal for the Wildcats from the 4-yard line. That almost makes up for dropping the last one, although the last one he would have had an easy touchdown. There wasn't anybody in front of him into the end zone, but that one, he brought it back inside the 4. Now the counter handoff, and that one's going nowhere. That was sniffed out by the Marathon front. Applebeck got the ball, and he got knocked backwards, maybe to the 5-yard line. Call it a loss of 1 on the play. So they're getting a lot of players involved in the scoring chances tonight. Butt's got a touchdown. Weisenberger's got a touchdown. Avery Normington's got a touchdown. That time they tried to get it to Applebeck, but he got stuffed. And it's going to be 2nd down and goal from the 5. Trips backfield behind Tegan Strite. They give the counter play to Weisenberger. He cuts it back once again into the end zone. Touchdown. 2nd touchdown of the night for Colby Weisenberger. And it's 27-0 pending the extra point. That's 2 touchdowns for Weisenberger, and he was untouched on both of them going into the end zone. Good blocking up front by that Marathon offensive line. Or by that Edgar offensive line, excuse me. 2:28 to play here, first half. 27-0 Wildcats, and looks like they're going to go. Now they're going to kick as Gravine had to put the kicking shoe back on. So Gravine ready to kick it away. Here's the kick, and it is up, and it is good. Gravine perfect tonight on the extra points, and it's 28-0 Wildcats. Back in a moment, you're watching Marathon Edgar football on Zaleski Sports.
Winter's coming fast, which means it's time to hit the trails. Bill's Service Center has all things you need to stay warm and dry on the trails this winter. With a full selection of jackets, bibs, helmets, boots, casual wear. And don't forget that Bill's is your chainsaw safety gear headquarters. Bill's Service Center is your one-stop connection for all your cold weather riding gear.
Don't freeze your jingle bells off. Get your cold weather riding gear at Bill's Service Center. Bill's Service Center, where the adventure begins.
Edgar Family Restaurant is located just south of Highway 29 in Edgar and open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, drink, dessert, get it all at Edgar Family Restaurant. Homemade food to fill your belly and your soul. Daily specials including Friday fish fry, soup, salad, pies made from scratch, and a full menu of choices are yours at Edgar Family Restaurant. Give back to those who support our community. Give back and visit Edgar Family Restaurant for breakfast tomorrow, then stay for lunch and dinner too. Edgar Family Restaurant is a proud backer of Wildcats football.
Tom King back here at Edgar High School. 2:28 to play first half. 28-0 Wildcats, and they'll kick it off. Harrison Gravine. And it's a high end over end kick. Going to be short. Caught at about the 15 across the 20. 25. 30, and this is Pinter, I believe, taking it out near the 35-yard line. So Pinter not getting much from the line of scrimmage tonight. That time, pretty good return out to about the 35-yard line, and that's where Marathon will start this possession with 2:20 to play in the first half and all 3 timeouts remaining. Matt Annis will take the snap this time out of the Wildcat. He's going to hand it off, and Pinter is met after maybe picking up a yard. He got it across the 35 to about the 36. Did the ball come out? No, they're going to say it's Marathon football. Maybe picked up 2 on that.
Brought down by Carver Higgins along with Brett Baumgartner.
One of the few... maybe a yard on that. One of the few positive yardage plays for Pinter from the line of scrimmage tonight. 2nd down and a long 9 here for Marathon as they'll send out trips receivers to the right. And this is once again Annis out of the Wildcat, and he's going to break a tackle in the backfield, now cut it back, and he's not going to get much. Maybe got it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the carry. And it's going to be third down and maybe 9. Carter Higgins on the stop for the Wildcats. Clock moving, 1:10 to play. Looks like Marathon's content to let this clock run down. They're not going to use their timeouts and just go into halftime and try to regroup here, down 28-0. Third down and 9. And now they're going to call a timeout. I think they were going to late not get the playoff in time. I'll tell you what, we'll keep it right here with only 51 seconds to play in the half. I believe coming up at halftime, we're going to hear the Jerry Sin Show with Jason Zaleski, I think, is what's going to be happening at halftime. Our game brought to you in part tonight by Ag Country. Ag Country Farm Credit Services, a farmer-owned co-op offering a wide array of custom financing and financial services. From loans and leases to crop insurance and tax and records, they have you covered. Contact Ag Country in Stevens Point to get started. We've got a scoring update. Colby and Auburndale are tied at 7. A defensive struggle going on tonight. Colby has allowed 76 points this year, and Auburndale's allowed 49. So 2 of the top 3 defensive teams in the conference squaring off there, and obviously Colby unbeaten coming in, handing Edgar their only loss of the year. Edgar got the win over Auburndale last week to drop them to 7-1, 5-1 in the conference. And of course, they're hoping for an Auburndale win tonight. All right, third down and long for Marathon, and it's going to be Annis. He wants to throw out of the Wildcat. It's a high wobbler. It's going to be incomplete, but they're going to call pass interference. Strite knocked it away, but they're going to call pass interference against Tegan Strite, I believe. Edgar had 3 players there. Strite was the closest and knocked the ball away. It looked like pretty good coverage, but apparently the backside official saw something he didn't like and threw the flag, and it's going to be a pass interference call against Edgar. And it'll be a first down here for Marathon with 43.8 seconds to play in the half. Boy, when Annis takes the snap out of the Wildcat, you're not expecting a long pass. That ball hung up in the air for a long time. It gave Edgar a chance to close on the receiver, and Strite just didn't time his contact well enough, and the official threw the flag. 1st and 10, just inside Edgar territory now. And Huxtable wants to throw. He's got a man that's caught. Underwood makes the catch for a short gain. Got it down inside the 45, but stayed in bounds at about the 44-yard line. And now it's going to be a timeout called by Marathon. I believe it's a Marathon timeout. Yep, their second timeout with 34.2 seconds to play in the half. They take the timeout here. 34.2 seconds to play in the half. 28-0. Edgar with the lead. Colby Weisenberger with a couple of short touchdown runs, 7-yard and 5 yards. He also broke off a long run that set up one of those touchdowns. He had a 57-yard scamper. Carter Butt with a 62-yard touchdown run. And the first play of the game that Edgar had on offense of the game was a 64-yard scoring pass from Tegan Strite to Avery Normington. And that accounts for the scoring here so far tonight in this one. Once again, final game of the regular season, and we'll find out tomorrow morning on that playoff announcement show on Bally Sports. Jason Zaleski is going to be part of that crew that's going to bring you all of the information. It starts at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll find out who the Wildcats will get in the first round of the playoffs next week. And out of the gun, Huxtable wants to throw. He's got time. He wants to throw it deep, and it is going to be incomplete. Should have been offensive pass interference right there as Normington got shoved to the ground by the receiver. It's going to be incomplete. If that would have been caught, that would have drove the Edgar coaches insane, because that was clearly offensive pass interference. The receiver just shoved Normington to the ground before he tried to make the catch, but the pass was incomplete. And it'll be third down and 6 for Marathon from the 44-yard line. 26.8 seconds remaining in the half. I'm not quite sure how the official couldn't throw a flag on that. It was right out in the open for everybody to see. And this time they want to throw it again. Inside screen, they've got it complete to Pintor, and he's going to be tackled from behind. I think he got the first down, though.
To Hector Pinter.
Applebeck made the stop on Pinter, but he got the first down, I think, or are they going to mark him short?
8 of 5 on the play is going to bring up 4th and 1.
4th down and 1. They marked him a yard short. So Marathon will take their final timeout here with 15.1 seconds remaining. Our game is brought to you in part by Purple Mountain Solutions, your business's go-to for both public and private warehousing and product delivery. Whatever it is you're shipping, you know you can depend on Purple Mountain Solutions to get it there safely and efficiently. 15.1 seconds remaining in the first half, 28-0 Edgar with the lead. Marathon with the ball facing a 4th down and 1 at the Edgar 38-yard line. If you're wondering what's with the socks that Edgar is wearing tonight, it's obviously for breast cancer awareness. The pink socks, they've been doing it traditionally every year. I'm told since 2009, starting doing it when some of the players' mothers were battling breast cancer. Here's Huxama. He wants to throw long again. A high floater, and it's going to be knocked away. Good coverage again, double coverage on the receiver, Underwood, inside the 5-yard line. Underwood almost came down with that ball, but Normington was there on the coverage along with Schuett. And it's going to be Edgar taking over on downs. So instead of trying to get the first down on 4th and short, Marathon tried to cash in a big one there and get on the board, but they couldn't do it. And so now Edgar has the football with 10.9 seconds left. And for most teams, you would think, well, they're just going to take a knee and run out this clock here for the first half. But as we have seen tonight, the Wildcats are able to break off big plays very often. The scoreboard went out. Now it comes back on. At least it comes back on right where it was, and it doesn't go to all zeros. That would be really bad. That's right. 1st and 10. And the Wildcats come to the line. 10.9 seconds to play. Split backfield, offset backfield behind Strite. And they're going to hand it off inside and breaking tackles. And it's going to be Affelbeck, and he gets tackled, but he gets it into Marathon territory at about the 45-yard line. And Edgar's going to take a timeout with 5.3 seconds to play in the half. They think they can maybe break off one more big play.
Puts the ball at Marathon's 45-yard line, and Edgar.
Another touchdown and an extra point would put the game into running time as well. And Edgar will get the football to start the second half as well. So not only are they getting it here at the end, they're going to get it to begin the second half as well. They won the toss and deferred at the beginning of the game. Colby Weisenberger, 2 touchdowns on the night so far, a 7-yard run and a 5-yard run. Carter Butt, a 62-yard touchdown run, and Avery Normington, a 64-yard scoring pass from Tegan Strite. That's been the scoring here tonight. A couple of extra point kicks by Gravine, and Butt scored on a 2-point conversion for the Wildcats. Senior night tonight, of course, for these seniors. For Marathon, it's the end of the line. They're not a playoff team. So these seniors playing their final game for Marathon tonight. Daniel Lacroix, Parker Mathwick, Peter Chezik, Mason Seehafer, Hector Pinter, Drew Love, Braden Sturm, David Duberstein, Logan Werner, and Griffin Trankler. Lots of seniors on this Marathon squad playing their final game tonight. So one more play here. Let's see what Edgar decides they want to do. Straight under center, and they're going to try the reverse, and it's going to be Weisenberger. He's got some running room. He's going to try to get it to the outside, but he's going to be knocked down inside the 25-yard line. Weisenberger rips off a big run, but can't get it into the end zone, and that's how the first half is going to come to an end. One half in the books, Edgar leading at 28-0. You're watching Marathon Edgar football on Zaleski Sports.
Marathon 0.
Edgar leading 21-14. Auburndale on the move, though, all through the air. Throw again. Here's the pass. It's caught. And then immediately drilled and dropped. The ball came loose. Edgar's got the football, took it right out of the hands of the receiver, and the Wildcats have it, and that will end this game, I would think.
Time now for the Jerry Sin Show, recorded at Edgar Family Restaurant in Edgar, and sponsored by Security Health Plan. Security Health Plan, promises kept, plain and simple. Visit securityhealth.org today. Welcome to the Jerry Sin Show. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, here at Edgar Family Restaurant, and sponsored by Security Health Plan, promises kept, plain and simple, here with Edgar football coach Jerry Sins. Coach, a tight one on Friday night. We'll talk about the game in its entirety, but first we'll go down. You had to kind of survive twice. You had to survive an Auburndale drive that resulted in a forced fumble, and then you had to result a throw into the end zone at the end of it. You survived both. You survived Auburndale.
Yeah, it was an exciting game. We knew they had a very good team, excellent quarterback, good wide receivers, good passing attack, and of course Weber also runs the ball well. It was just kind of an exciting atmosphere. There were fat hands, on both sides, fairly close to the field. The officials made them get back one time and whatever. And but yeah, we did a couple things too where we thought we could get a first down and maybe put the game away, and there was a little miscommunication with the guy going in with the play. But those kinds of things, of course, happen. Fortunately, we never turned the ball over at all. We didn't have any fumbles or any interceptions, which is big. Probably one of the things, that help us pull it out, because obviously the game could have gone either way.
It sure seemed like it, especially coming down to the end. No score in the first quarter. You each traded touchdowns in the second and in the fourth quarter. So your third quarter touchdown, it turns out, was the difference maker. Of course, another Carter Butt touchdown in the year. You mentioned, we talked about it coming into the game, the passing attack of the Eagles. You don't often find in Division 6 or 7 and in this area a quarterback that can be as prolific as Trayton Weber is, almost 250 yards passing. Do you worry, though, once maybe we get past this week 9 and into the playoffs on a different quarterback coming to town? Is that something you can withstand again this year?
Well, Marathon we got this week, and they have a very good passing attack too. They've passed for 1,350 yards and numerous touchdowns, and run a similar formation to what Auburndale does. So we're going to see the same type of attack, again this Friday, which you'd think would be a little advantage to us. We should be more ready for it this week, a guy would think. But there's a lot of teams, of course, that do that. I don't. The quarterback for Marathon isn't nearly as big of a running threat as Weber is. I mean, he had 700-800 yards rushing too, and right. Several touchdowns. Right. So you can't rush him too hard, or he'll just tuck it away and run. Yeah. So that's the double thing there with him. That sometimes with purely passing quarterbacks, you can pretty much go at them because they don't plan on running, they don't want to run, but he does.
You mentioned all the fans there. Again, we warned everybody at home that was going to happen. If you didn't get down there, you wouldn't have a seat. Of course, there were people standing, also standing in the west end zone too. So a great atmosphere for high school football. You can't ask for much more than that. Just before we turn the cameras on, you and I looked at this play. Let's talk about this late in the fourth quarter here. Pass to the sideline.
Yeah, our corner came up, Keegan Hartway, and hit the guy fairly hard, so he was stopped. And of course, we always tell our guys, well, if somebody else hasn't stopped, the second guy come in and see if you can strip the ball. Now, once in a while, of course, guys are trying to strip the ball before we got the guy stopped, and then he gets away. But in this case, he was stopped, and there was another guy there. So two guys actually had him. I think it was probably Keegan and Leighton Schuett. So then Tegan Strike came in, and of course his whole idea was, I want to see if I can strip him. So he just reached in there and grabbed the ball and pulled on it, and it came popping up, and then he caught it in the air. It was way over there in that corner where we couldn't even hardly see it. We saw our guys celebrating, and I didn't know what happened. But then eventually, of course, we figured out that, we stole the ball from him. So then it was, all right, now we got to get a first down to run out the clock, which unfortunately, even though we got 8 yards in the first play, we didn't get a first down either.
Yeah, and they give them the ball back.
So
they throw in the end zone that we talked about just a minute ago. The Minnesota Vikings won their football game on Sunday with that exact play. Their defensive back just took the ball away from the other team's receiver. So you see that at all levels. You help teach your kids about that. One other thing about last week's game, then we'll preview Marathon. I had asked you if you happen to win, you were going to go on the field and you'll congratulate Coach Jay Anderson, and maybe, so I want to know what you did here, but maybe whisper in his ear, we sure could use your help with a win against Colby. Did you get a chance to talk to Jay about that?
Well, it's kind of funny because we shake hands, all the coaches shake hands with all the players from both teams. So normally when I shake hands, I would just say to guys like good game or, whatever, stay healthy. But this week, as I was shaking hands with pretty much all the Auburndale players, I was saying good luck next week. Good luck next week. And of course, some of them kind of looked at me with a strange look in their face. I'm sure they caught on to it fairly quickly. That we need some help this week.
Of course, what we're talking about there, if Auburndale were to be able to beat Colby, and the game I think is at Colby on Friday night, and you happen to beat Marathon at home on Friday night, well then you would share a piece of that conference championship, which is always nice. You get that recognition then for the rest of these kids' lives that they were a conference champion. So out of your hands, but hopefully you left Auburndale in decent enough shape physically and mentally to give them a shot at it. All right, Marathon comes to town on Friday. One of the talks you and I had about Marathon a couple of years back was the familiarity. The two towns are close. Again, we're sitting here, we're on the highway, Marathon. You can just about see it right over here. A lot of the families are connected, related, support each other. But when you come to town on Friday night, no more friends on Friday night.
Yeah, not for an hour and a half or 2 hours maybe after the game. It'll all be forgotten again, I assume. But that's part of the fun, I think, of having conference opponents who are nearby neighbors. I think just like when East and West played in Wausau, it was a tough, hard-fought game, but they're all friends because they live in the same town. And it's kind of the same thing with us. I mean, we have kind of the same relationship with Stratford, too. That they're close enough, and we have kids that transfer from Edgar to Stratford and Stratford to Edgar. Athens used to sort of be the same way when we played them. But Marathon, of course, being the closest one, they're only like 5-6 miles away. So, there's a lot of people that live right on the fringe between the two districts, and the kid can probably go to school in either district if he wants to, because they probably have property in both districts.
Right.
And so, it's always fun. And they always have a lot of good athletes. So this year is no different. They have a very good quarterback and some good receivers, and a very talented running back. And so they can put up some points. If I remember right, I think they put up 50-something on Abbey here a couple weeks ago, so we know they can score.
Yeah, they've scored 154 on the season. Cooper Hoeksema is the quarterback that we're talking about here, over 1,300 yards through the air. And again, maybe football is changing, because that was pretty unheard of in this group of teams in this area not that long ago. So we'll go back to the question I asked you about Auburndale. Now we'll ask it about Marathon. Is there anything that needs to change to bring that air attack down, or what did you and the guys learn on Friday night about that?
Well, yeah, we actually played about as good a pass defense as we could against Auburndale. There was once or twice that it might have been a little indecision or coverage, but no, he completed several of them up the sideline where the defensive back was on the receiver as tight as he could be. They both went up for the ball, and the Auburndale receiver, being bigger than our corner, just outfought him and took it away. None of those went for touchdowns. There were only 2 touchdowns for quarterback keepers when they got inside the 10. So we kept them from getting any long touchdown passes. And of course, we're going to have to do the same thing against Marathon. If you're contesting the play and you can tackle a guy and you're fighting for the ball, well, there's not much else you can ask the defensive back to do.
Marathon dropped a game on the road last week at Pittsville. You've had some experience with Pittsville as a competitor. And then the following week, we watched them compete against Colby, what we thought was a pretty interesting 21-6 final. What you knew about Pittsville, playing them and then seeing that game. I think then you play Pittsville maybe the next week. Pittsville 36, Marathon 6. Maybe a surprising score. What can you learn from that type of game? And when you're watching film, what are some of the things that you look for with that kind of result just the previous week?
Yeah, we were surprised by the spread. I mean, we thought Pittsville was a pretty darn good team. You and I talked about the fact that, they may be the best 1-6 team in the state of Wisconsin. They're a pretty good team. And they played many people tough. Nobody had beaten them bad. And then maybe they just got tired of losing and came up with a great effort. You don't know for sure. Yeah, they played, a physical style of ball against Marathon. But Abbey is also a physical team, and Marathon handled them well. So once again, it's kind of like from week to week. Sometimes it's from half to half. I watched the first half of the Packer game on Sunday, and then I had to go to church for confirmation. And I was shocked when I come out and heard that they never scored a point in the second half. It's like, are you kidding me? With all those guys, they didn't get a point. So, and this is on a pro level.
Yeah.
So, yeah, things can change in a hurry, and momentum can switch, and things go haywire on you.
Yeah, and it looked like it did. I see Pittsville had a 1-yard touchdown run, a 2-yard touchdown run, a 3-yard touchdown run. So they were goal-to-goal situations. We won't mix too much Packers in here, but the Packers had that on Sunday to win the game, and they threw the ball instead. And then they had 2 defensive touchdowns in that game as well. So Marathon maybe a little bit loose with the ball, but the Pittsville rushing attack, they can run that ball. They're going to try to eat up yards, and your guys run the ball pretty well too. So running game should be key on Friday night.
Yeah, we spoke last week about the fact that Carter Butt might have to carry the ball 30 times. Well, he ended up carrying it 34 times, and once again, the main reason for that is we're just trying to keep the ball away from a high-powered offense like Auburndale had. And of course, Marathon, like you said, throws it well too. Mm-hmm. In games that we've played other teams, Carter might only had 8 or 9 carries, because now we're just playing normal. Yeah, we want to pass the ball too, but if the other team's got a much better passing attack than us, well, then we're going to run the ball and try to keep it away from you. And last week it worked, and you hope it works, but you never know for sure.
Yeah, Carter averaged 5 yards a carry on 34 carries. You had Colby averaging essentially 5 yards a carry on 14 attempts. Everybody got enough gas left to get to the finish line this year?
I think so. Yeah, I hope so. Of course, like they were arrested. I mean, it was kind of funny that, Carter only has like 115 carries in the whole year. Well, he had 34 of them against Auburndale. I think he had 27 or 8 against Stratford. So in the other 6 games, he carried the ball about 8 times, you see, each. So, and that's kind of by design, but yeah, I know some teams play or have a running back carry it 30 times every game, but we've never, ever done that. If it needs be, we try to do it, but once again, he starts in defense too, so we don't want to suffer in defense because of what we're doing in offense, because we always sell defense as a bigger key than offense is, so. I think we will be more varied this week, I'm guessing, and hopefully in the playoffs too.
Yeah, okay, you're guessing? You got a pretty good handle on that, though, I think. You probably can tell some people what to do. We're going to show this on the screen right now. This is our bracket projection, and we're going to know Saturday morning at 10 o'clock who is what and what's where. And actually, we got a correction from Travis Wilson earlier. He had made a mistake with this team, but it looks like you're a solid number 1. These teams you're somewhat familiar with on a year in, a year out basis, having played, who we think is your first round opponent, in recent times. But being the 1 seed, half the teams only make the playoffs in the entire state. Your kids, there's been a lot of playoff appearances around here. Are they able to appreciate making the playoffs? Knowing only half get the ability?
I hope so. Yeah, I think so. We haven't talked about it yet because once again we always kind of go with the one game. Well, we talked about it a little bit that there was going to be a show on TV on Saturday morning. So if you want to find out, well, you can watch Valley Sports on Saturday morning. But our focus right now has got to be on Marathon to take care of our own business. Yeah, that would be a fine bracket with us if it worked out that way. I know there's other people projecting other things, so. One I heard we were 3rd seed, and I thought,
well, they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I think we'd be better than the 3 seed if we go 8-1.
Steer clear of those people, Coach. They don't know what they're saying. I mean, Shiocton is probably in your group. Now, again, this is based on geography, and we don't always know how they carve up the geography. This is based on historical geographies and all that type of thing. But should Shiocton be placed in your bracket, I mean, that's a team that's played essentially all D5 teams all year long. They're going to be ready to play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they've always been good. Shiocton's always had tough kids. I remember them and Stratford playing each other, and then us and Stratford might play each other. We used to all be in the same division, Division 5 here a number of years ago, or we were all in 6, I think, a couple of times too. So yeah, we're a little bit familiar with them. I think they have green color like us too.
Yeah, they do. A little bit different shade, but then you got the old Hurley North Stars maybe lurking in the background too, and then maybe you've had your fill of Hurley in the last couple of years. But we shall see. All right, let's see. We talked about Packers a little bit. Let's talk about the Badgers. Get a new coach, or a new head coach anyway, right? Jimmy has already been there, but elevated to a head coach, and they get a win. That's pretty good for a first time as being head coach.
Yeah, they played obviously a lot different, to my way of thinking. I mean, they seem to be more spirited. They seem to be more loose, too. I'm sure that they were all realizing that, Coach Chris was gone because of the way they played, not because of anything that he did.
Yeah.
And therefore, we better...
In particular, nothing he did.
Right. We better toughen up and start playing better because I'm sure they like Coach Leonard too, and they want to see him stick around at the end of the year.
Yeah, you got the management there with the team's got to walk a fine line because sure you want everybody to win, but you want Jimmy to stay in some capacity, maybe the head coach, who knows?
Right.
But you elevate somebody like that, and now you need to see if you can keep him.
Yeah, I hope that they keep playing well. I think they ran the ball more, which, once again, and then, of course, your passing game always improves when you run the ball more. If you're passing too much, well, then pretty soon the passing game starts to suffer too. And so I thought they had a better mix, and then they had better spirit. The conference now looks like a toss-up. Of course, with my son being at Purdue, where I was interested in that, I think I'm going to go down to the game on the 22nd when Purdue comes to Madison.
Yeah.
And then they, Purdue may be ahead of them at that point because they're ahead of them right now in the standings. So it'll be an interesting season yet in the Big Ten.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Tom King back here at Edgar High School. We're at halftime, and the Wildcats leading Marathon by a score of 28-0. Just want to give you a heads up for those of you who have joined our live stream now. And we were late getting on the live stream because of some technical difficulties with our computers, but we did record all of the action that you missed. And so you will be able to see that when this game is posted after we're done here, because obviously I'm sure Avery Normington's friends and family want to see the long pass play on that first play from scrimmage. On senior night, it was a 64-yard touchdown pass on Edgar's first play from scrimmage from Tegan Strite to Avery Normington for the touchdown, 6-0 Edgar. Carter Butt scored on a 67-yard touchdown, make that a 62-yard touchdown run on their second play from scrimmage when they got the ball back. And then Colby Weisenberger with a couple of touchdowns for Edgar's 7-yard run and a 5-yard run in the second quarter. And a couple of extra point kicks for Harrison Gravine, a 2-point conversion by Butt. And that's where we stand 28-0 here at halftime. And Edgar's going to get the football to begin the second half. They won the toss and deferred back at the beginning of the game. Unofficially, I've got 240 yards of offense for the Wildcats, 176 on the ground, 64 through the air. And for Marathon, unofficially 90 yards of offense, 46 rushing, 44 passing here in the first half of football. The other game of interest for Edgar fans, Colby and Abbotsford, 7-7 tied, and that game at halftime. And, of course, Edgar fans rooting for an Auburndale win. Did I say Abbotsford? It's Auburndale. Rooting for an Auburndale win there over Colby. And that would knock Colby from the ranks of the unbeaten. And if Edgar can hold on and win this game, would be a three-way tie at the top of the Merriwood Conference. It's getting a little cold out there, and it was maybe a little sprinkle mixed with flurries. Earlier we had some of that, but it's a cold night here tonight at Edgar. And the Raiders are going to kick the ball away. It's a squibber grabbed by Baumgartner. One of the up men brings it across near the 35-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will begin their first possession of the second half, 1st and 10 on their own 35. I think that ball came out, and Weisenberger ended up with it at about the 35-yard line. So the Wildcats come back to the line. Hartway's going to split out wide left. Normington comes to the near side. Stride under center, split backfield behind him. They're going to pitch it and try to get Weisenberger around the left corner. Can he get there? He will, and pick up positive yardage out to the 40-yard line. Marathon did a pretty good job of stretching that out. Weisenberger did get the corner, but only picked up about 5 yards on that. It's going to be 2nd down and 5 on the 5-yard carry by Weisenberger, which unofficially takes him over 100 yards on the night. I've got him for 104 right now. He, of course, did have that big 57-yard run. He had a 35-yard run earlier as well. 2nd down and 5. And they're going to throw the football. Strikes under pressure, and he's going to be sacked. He couldn't get rid of that. Good coverage downfield. And on the stop for Marathon on the sack was Drew Love, one of those seniors for Marathon. I think I listed the seniors for Marathon earlier and forgot Matt Annis, their big running back. He's also a senior on this squad. So the loss all the way back inside the 35-yard line to about the 33. It's going to be 3rd down and 12 now for the Wildcats. One of the few negative plays for Edgar tonight so far. Single coverage out here on Leighton Shuett. They're going to hand it off, though, and Weisenberger's going to try to bounce it around the corner, and he's not going to get there. He's going to be dropped. Maybe no gain. There's a flag thrown on the play. That usually means a hold from that spot. Let's see if they're going to decline the penalty here. It's going to be 4th down and long. It's going to be a hold against Edgar. I would imagine that's going to be declined, I would think. They will decline it. It's going to be 4th down and a punting situation here for the Wildcats. So the Marathon defense does a good job on the opening possession of the second half. And it will be a punting situation here for the Wildcats. Our game is brought to you in part by Whitetail Properties. If you're looking for hunting or recreational property, just call Brian Roosh with Whitetail Properties, 715-213-4468. That's 715-213-4468. And the punt to Hinderfoos is pretty good. It's going to be a line drive, end-over-end kick. It's going to take an Edgar roll, and Marathon's going to let it roll dead inside the 35-yard line at about the 34, and that's where Marathon will take over for their first possession of the second half.
Hinderfoos' punt rolls dead at Marathon's 34-yard line, where they will take over 1st and 10.
10:02 to play in the third, 28-0. Edgar with the lead. They will head to the playoffs next week. And they're going to hand it off. No, they're going to hand it off inside. Nice fake to Annis. Instead, it was Pinter inside, I believe. Actually, a different ball carrier for Marathon. That's going to be Mason Seehafer on the carry. His first carry of the night, picked up about 2 yards.
Being 2 on the play is going to make it 2nd and 8.
2nd down and 8. Second down and 8 here for Marathon. Receivers left and right. Huxama out of the gun. And there's going to be a delayed snap there. There's going to be a false start against Marathon. Everybody had the snap count right except the center. And that's a problem. So they'll mark off the penalty against Marathon. Ball marked down back near the 30-yard line. Going to be 2nd down and 13. Marathon taking a long time in the huddle this time. They're going to have to hurry to the line to get this play off. 2 receivers split to the near side. And Huxama takes the snap. He wants to throw. The rush is coming. Throws it across the middle. It's going to be caught near 1st down yardage. Daniel Lacroix made the catch. Picked up about 12 on that. Going to be just shy of the first down.
Down by Leighton Schuett and Avery Normington.
13 yards on the completion.
And so, actually, they gave him enough for the first down. Well, that's a pretty good mark. That was a pretty good mark for Marathon right there. I thought he got knocked down short. Instead, it's a first down for Marathon at about the 44-yard line. Receiver left and right. Hucks him out of the gun once again. Man comes in motion. Cuts in front of the quarterback. Now they hand it off to Annis. Power running straight ahead. Picked up about 3 or 4. Across the 45 to about the 48.
Done by Brady Stencil and Dylan Yonkert.
Clock moving, 8:10 to play, third quarter, 28-0 Edgar. Marathon with the football. Second down and about 6 for the Raiders from their own 48-yard line.
Clock now winds under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Second down and 6 for the Red Raiders from their own 48-yard line.
And they come to the line. Second down and 6. Snap is good. Huxman wants to throw. He wants to throw deep. And he's overthrowing his man, and the defensive back fell down. That was Hardway, who had another chance for an interception and just fell down as he was Actually, that's Schuett. My mistake. Leighton Schuett was backpedaling, and he would have had an easy interception on the overthrown ball, and he fell down. And it'll be third down now and 6. The Wildcats, like last week the Wildcats had a chance for 2 or 3 interceptions that they could not bring in. Tonight they've had a chance for a few as well. They do have one, and now going to be penalty flags flying. It's either going to be encroachment or illegal procedure. Let's see what they got here. Was there movement or was Edgar offside? It's going to be against the Wildcats. Looks like going to be an encroachment penalty, and that's going to make it an easier third down play here. It's going to be third down and 1 instead of third and 6. Ball will be moved into Edgar territory at about the 47-yard line. Third down and 1 here for Marathon. And once again, they're taking a long time to come to the line, and we're going to get a timeout. Got an equipment problem. Weisenberger's got to come off the field for Edgar. I think he's got a problem with his helmet. So coming into the game for the Wildcats is Justin Davis, one of the seniors on this Wildcat squad. Marathon's going to hand it off inside. Oh, Pinter just got pounded, but he's able to power ahead for the first down. Some hard running by Hector Pinter. Picked up the first down inside the 45 to about the 44. Third down and 10. Make that first down and 10, first and 10 for the Red Raiders. 3 receivers in the formation, including a wing, and now Huxman wants to throw. He wants to throw deep again, and it's going to be knocked away. Good defense that time. Normington was able to knock that one away from the intended receiver. He was trying to get it to Daniel Lacroix down inside the 25-yard line, and good coverage. Normington knocked it away.
That's going to make it second and 10.
Second down and 10. Wing right, 2 receivers left for Marathon this time. They're going to hand it off. They're going to try the reverse, and this time Annis breaks a tackle. Weisenberger had him wrapped up in the backfield, but now he's going to be wrapped up and dropped. The ball came loose. Did they whistle that dead? Boy, he was still fighting for yardage. Baumgartner fell on the football, but I think they're going to say that his forward progress was stopped. Annis broke the initial tackle of Colby Weisenberger in the backfield, and once again, they gave him really good forward progress there. That ball should not be marked at the 49. He was down at least 2 yards farther back than that. And instead, they give him the 49-yard line of Marathon. It's going to be 3rd down and long, 3rd and 17. So 2 yards isn't going to make that big of a difference. But, man, I don't understand where they're getting that mark from, as he was wrapped up back farther than that. 3rd and 17. Huxamo wants to throw. Across the middle of the field, it's overthrown, tipped and incomplete. Once again, looked like Hartway got a hand on that one. And it's going to be 4th down in a punting situation here for Marathon. Edgar will get the ball back with 6:04 to play in the 3rd.
And it's going to bring up 4th and 17.
Strite will drop back. Carter Butt back with him. And we're going to get an official's timeout here. Actually, we're going to get a timeout here. We'll take a quick one as well. Back in a moment, you're watching Edgar Marathon Football on Zaleski Sports.
Winter's coming fast, which means it's time to hit the trails. Bill's Service Center has all things you need to stay warm and dry on the trails this winter. With a full selection of jackets, bibs, helmets, boots, casual wear. And don't forget that Bill's is your chainsaw safety gear headquarters. Bill's Service Center is your one-stop connection for all your cold weather riding gear.
Don't freeze your jingle bells off. Get your cold weather riding gear at Bill's Service Center. Bill's Service Center, where the adventure begins.
And we're back here at Edgar High School as the Marathon Red Raiders face a 4th and 17 in a punting situation here. Edgar will get the football back. And Marathon has changed their mind. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 17 from their side of the field. It's going to be a throw by Annis. He wants to go deep, and that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. Nearly intercepted again by the Wildcats. Strite was there, got a hand on that one. So an interesting call. I guess when you're down 28-0, it really doesn't matter. You're going to go for it, even on the ball on your side of the field. Now Edgar takes over 1st and 10 on the Marathon 49-yard line. They tried a pass out of the Wildcat there. Annis was taking the snap and threw that pass. Now with 5:57 to play in the 3rd, Edgar back on offense for the 2nd time here in the half. Scored 2 touchdowns in the 1st quarter. Avery Normington, that long pass play, and then Carter Butt on a 62-yard run. And then Weisenberger scored a couple of touchdowns in the 2nd quarter. 28-0 the score. Strite brings Edgar to the line. And they're going to hand it off, and I think this is Affelbeck. Let's see. It is Jace Affelbeck on the carry. Picked up positive yardage down to the 45-yard line. Pickup of about 4 on that. Second down and 6. On a cold, damp night here at Edgar. Edgar players on the sideline have those old coats you used to see back in the old NFL days, those long coats that players on the sideline would wear on cold days. You don't see those very much anymore. Inside handoff, and this is Butt fighting for yardage, going to be short of the 1st down. They're going to mark him down at about the 41 or 42. Going to be short of the 1st down. Picked up about 3 on that.
3rd and 3.
So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 for Edgar. I would think 4 down territory for them here. Clock moving, 4:40 to play in the 3rd. Strite under center, wing left. And they're going to hand it off, and this is going nowhere. Weisenberger got smothered under for a loss back to the 45. Good pressure by the Marathon defense right there. Pintor was in there on the stop. Drew Love in there as well. It's going to be a 4th down. Now they may punt. Looks like they will punt here. from the 45-yard line and try to pin Marathon deep in their own territory. Obviously, this is a place on the field where you can think about running a fake punt. I don't believe we've seen Edgar run a fake punt this year. Not that I can remember. But if you're going to run one, this would be a pretty good spot to do it. 4th and 6 from the other team's 45-yard line. We've got a scoring update. Auburndale leading Colby. Now a bobbled snap on the punt. And Haynerfoot's able to get it away. It's a high punt. Going to take a bounce. Can they save it? Oh, it took a bounce into the end zone. Weisenberger was there. He didn't think the ball was going to take that big hop into the end zone, and it did. So Marathon will get the ball at their own 20. Updated score, it was Auburndale leading Colby 14-7 late in the third quarter. Edgar fans like to hear that. If that, in fact, holds, Auburndale beats Colby and Edgar wins this game. It'll be a three-way tie for the Merriwood Conference Championship, with all three teams having one loss. First and 10 Marathon from their own 20-yard line. Huxama going to hand it off. This is Annis balling ahead, maybe for a couple. Actually, that was Pinter on the carry. My mistake. Hector Pinter on the carry. Picked up a couple.
Needed 2 on the play. We'll make it 2nd and 8.
Second down and 8 for Marathon. The connection between the wireless device here in the press box and the scoreboard is having a little glitch every now and then. The scoreboard will pop off and go dark for about 5 seconds and then pop back on. We're just hoping we can get the game in before it stays off completely. The officials are hoping that as well. They don't want to keep the time down on the field. That can turn into a mess. Second down and 8. Annis is the man in motion. They're going to hand it off inside Pinter, and he's going nowhere. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage. So it'll be third down and long. Third down and about 8, maybe 9. Maybe lost a yard on that. Clock continues to roll. 2:15 to play here in the third. Our game brought to you in part by Stone Innovations of Plover. They specialize in the fabrication, design, and installation of stone countertops. Stone Innovations operates with the most advanced fabrication equipment in the industry. Visit stoneinnovations.net to begin your order. 3rd and 9. And they're going to hand it off to Annis, try to get the corner. He's got some room, trying to make one man miss. Avery Normington stood him up and dropped him. He got some help at the end by Sawyer Reef, but I'll tell you what, that was Normington right there, who's having a really good game tonight on senior night. He made a nice open field tackle on Annis right there, who's a tough customer to bring down one-on-one, and Normington made a good stop right there. 4th down and 9, punting situation here for Marathon once again. Underwood will handle the punts on the ground again, but this time he's able to get it away. It's a good punt, a boomer. Carter Butt's going to go back to the 30. They're going to run the reverse. Yes, they hand it off to Strite. They're trying to line up the blocking. They've got blocking. Strite dancing along the sideline, and he's going down the field. He did go out of bounds, though. They had it set up. They had that picket fence of blockers set up along the near sideline on the reverse, and Tegan Strite brought it, and let's see where they said he stepped out of bounds. About the 49-yard line of Edgar, so could not walk the tightrope along the sideline and stay in bounds. He had more running room, but it'll be 1st and 10 Edgar from their own 49-yard line with under a minute to play here in the third quarter. We've seen that set reverse on the punt return work for a long return for a touchdown in a game earlier this year. Schuett will split out wide left in this formation. Wing left as well. Strite under center, and they're going to hand it off. No, somebody had the snap count wrong. Carter Butt didn't move, so either everybody else had it wrong and he was right, or something else happened there, because illegal procedure is the call against Edgar. And the ball marked back to the 44-yard line. Going to be first down and 15 now.
So, first and 15 for the Wildcats.
So after a lot of scoring in the first half, 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, 2 touchdowns in the second, we look like we're going to go the third without a score unless Edgar can bust another big play here. They're certainly capable of it with 58 seconds remaining in the third quarter. They're going to hand it off to Butt. Tries the left side, powering the pile forward. Maybe got back to near the original line of scrimmage. 4 or 5 on that. And it'll be second down and maybe 11. And one of the Marathon players slow to get up.
Gain of 4 on the play is going to make it second 11.
Peyton Lawrence slow to get up for Marathon. Clock moving, second down and 11. Strite. They hand it off. Quick hitter inside, and not much there. And now a flag flies in. The whistle had blown. Affelbeck got thrown to the ground, and it's going to be a personal foul against Marathon. I think the whistle had blown. His forward progress had stopped, and then he got slammed to the ground. They're going to call a personal foul against Marathon, and that'll make this third down play. They'll replay second down, but it'll be a lot closer now to a first down after picking up. Well, they get an automatic first down here. They'll mark that off from the 48-yard line. And it is going to be enough for a first down, marked inside the 40. All the way down to the 37. First down for Edgar with 12.4 seconds to play here in the third quarter. It really was unnecessary. They had 3 guys around Affelbeck, and then he got thrown to the ground after the whistle, and they're just going to let the clock run out here. Third period is in the books. 28-0. Edgar continues to lead Marathon here on Zaleski Sports.
Thank you for helping Abbey Bank become the most highly recommended community bank.
Thank you to all of our customers for helping us be successful.
Thank you for putting your trust in us.
Thank you for your loyalty.
Thank you for helping us support our communities.
We are grateful for customers like you.
Thank you to all of our customers. We hope to see you soon.
Edgar Family Restaurant is located just south of Highway 29 in Edgar and open 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, drink, dessert, get it all at Edgar Family Restaurant. Homemade food to fill your belly and your soul. Daily specials including Friday fish fry, soup, salad, pies made from scratch, and a full menu of choices are yours at Edgar Family Restaurant. Give back to those who support our community. Give back and visit Edgar Family Restaurant for breakfast tomorrow, then stay for lunch and dinner too. Edgar Family Restaurant is a proud backer of Wildcats football.
And we're back here at Edgar. Crowd singing along with Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline, which has been, of course, become a staple at sports arenas around the country. Wonder if Neil Diamond ever thought that his song would become a sports icon like it has. You never know what's going to become a hit song at a sports arena. Build Me Up, Buttercup's big, of course, Jump Around. Here's a pitch. Edgar's going to try to get it around the corner. This is Butt. He's waiting for his blockers, and now he tries to power ahead, and he's going to pick up positive yardage down inside the 40, or the 35, down to about the 32. Pick up maybe a 5 on that. I always find it interesting when the high school bands are playing at these games, how many songs from the 60s and 70s are still hits with high school bands. They're playing songs that their parents and sometimes their grandparents were fans of and still being played at high school games these days. Now a handoff, and the ball's loose, and it looks like Marathon's going to get it. The exchange was never made as the running back, Affelbeck, fell down, slipped on the slippery turf, And Marathon's going to recover the ball at the 30-yard line. They never got a clean handoff there from Strite to Affelbeck. And the ball got punched forward, and Marathon's going to recover it at about the 30-yard line. So the Edgar drive stalls with 11:09 to play in the fourth on the fumble. We've seen a few players slip at various times tonight. Not a whole lot, but enough. We did have the snow and rain mixture earlier before the game, and that field's got to be a bit wet. So Marathon will come back to the line on offense. Huxama out of the gun, receivers left and right. He's got time to throw. He throws it, overthrows again, trying to get it to Underwood near the 40-yard line. It's too high, incomplete, and it's second down and 10.
Transmission to the scoreboard right now, it's like not, so I'll just.
11:06 to play here in the fourth quarter. Second down and 10, ball resting at the 29-yard line of Marathon. 28-0 your score. Edgar with the lead. Huxama wants to throw again. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Now he's flushed out of the pocket. He's got time. He throws. It's going to be incomplete. Man, I don't know. There wasn't anybody near where that pass was thrown. Are they going to talk about it? Intentional grounding there. It didn't look like anybody was near. Pass is incomplete.
That's going to bring up third. And
didn't look like there was any receiver close to that pass. And there was nobody around where that pass was thrown, and it's going to be third down and 10. They don't throw a flag, so third down and 10. Third down and 10. Out of the gun once again. Here comes the blitz. He gets rid of it. It's complete, and once again, it's going to be. Now the ball is loose. Marathon's going to pick it up, and they're going to say he was down. That was Annis who got knocked down by Affelbeck. And let's see who else made that hit. Normington, I think, again for Edgar. Hit Annis after he caught the pass, and it's knocked down. It's fourth down and long. And losing yardage back to the 25-yard line.
And 14. Tyler Underwood in punt formation. Keegan Strite and Carter Button to receive.
Underwood takes the high snap and is able to get it away. Pretty good punt. And it's going to go out of bounds near midfield. So Edgar's going to have good field position to start this drive with 10:06 to play, right near the 50-yard line.
Underwood's kick goes out of bounds at approximately the 47-yard line, where Edgar will have it first and 10.
Our game brought to you in part tonight by Fleet Farm. Sign up for Fleet Rewards and get exclusive offers and deals. Earn points and save. 500 points equals a $5 reward. Plus, it's free to sign up. Start earning points today. Get everything you need in one stop, and that's at Fleet Farm. Edgar comes to the line. First and 10 from their own 48-yard line. Straight under center. And he's going to roll out. He wants to throw. Now he's going to try to run with the football. He's got blockers in front of him. He gets it across midfield and then is ridden out of bounds near the 45, 46-yard line of Marathon. Picked up about 6 or 7 on that. Let's call it 7. Going to be second down and 3. That was a designed run, I think, that time for Strite. He had blockers in front of him. Some of the linemen pulled out and were coming downfield. So second down and 3, ball marked at the 45 of Marathon here with 9:56 to play. Still looking for our first score of the second half. And once again, because of our computer problems, we weren't live for the beginning of the game, but all of that action will be posted as part of the game when we posted after the now a handoff, busting it outside. This is Affelbeck. He may go. One man to beat. Stiff arms him into the end zone. Touchdown. What a great finish to that run by Jace Affelbeck. It looked like he was going to get knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line, and he just gave a big stiff arm to the defender and held him off and was able to dive across the goal line for the touchdown, a 45-yard touchdown run, and another big play for the Wildcats in this one. There's a flag thrown on the play as well at the end. It looks like that's going to be against Marathon. The touchdown will stand. Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Marathon. So I don't know if something was said there or I didn't see what was done to warrant the flag, but it's 34-0 pending the extra point, and if they can get to the 35-point lead margin, that would mean running time on the clock for the rest of this one. And they will kick this extra point. Gravine getting set to boot it. He's nailed a couple of extra points tonight so far. Here's the kick, and it is up, and it is good. 35-0 the score. Edgar with the lead. You're watching Marathon Edgar football on Zaleski Sports.
Cropping Central, conveniently located between Edgar and Stratford on County Road N, 715-352-2843. Let Cropping Central take care of your field plans, yield mapping, crop scouting, and crop protection, including hail insurance. Cropping Central, 715-352-2843, and visit them on County Road N, west of Edgar.
Stone Innovations, home of Wisconsin's largest granite and quartz selection, is now featuring the best stone shopping experience in the state. Our brand new indoor facility allows for a home-like, comfortable atmosphere. Choose from hand-picked stone from around the world and select the perfect look for your dream kitchen in the best lighting possible. Then sit down with our free design services to customize the look of your kitchen. Our projects come with a lifetime warranty. Stone Innovations, Wisconsin's granite and quartz leader. Appleton, Rhinelander, Clover, Madison.
Tom King back here at Edgar High School. 9:45 to play. Edgar will kick off. They have assessed that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after the kickoff here, so the penalty, the kickoff is going to come from inside Marathon territory at the 45-yard line after that 15-yard penalty was assessed for the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So Gravine will kick off from the Marathon 45. And here's the boot line drive, and it's going to go into the end zone for a touchback.
Gravine's kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. Marathon will start 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
So Marathon gets the ball at the 20. Our game brought to you in part by Heartland Farms, a 5th-generation potato and vegetable farm producing many varieties of chipping potatoes and currently farming 27,000 irrigated acres and growing. They're currently the cream of the crop in the potato farming business. You can learn more at heartland.farm. That's heartland.farm. So the Raiders come to the line. Hucks him out of the gun and will hand it off on a counter play. And Seehafer on the carry got it across the 20 to about the 21, maybe 2 yards on that pickup.
Either one of the plays is going to bring up 2nd and 9.
They're saying 1 on the pickup, so it's 2nd down and 9. Man in motion. They're going to try the inside handoff, and that's going nowhere. Annis gets thrown for a loss. Met in the backfield.
Matt Annis, the ball carrier. Brought down by Colby Weisenberger.
Looks like Brady Stencil and Colby Weisenberger on the stop, getting in the backfield there.
Loss of 3 on the play is going to bring up 3rd and 12.
3 yards lost on that one, and the Ball moved now back inside the 20-yard line at about the 18. 3rd down and 12. 8:35 to play in this one. 35-0. Edgar with the lead. They will finish the regular season with a record of 8-1. The only blemish that loss to Colby. Huxman wants to throw. He's got a little button hook. That's caught, but immediately driven backwards. Underwood made the catch across the 20. Only picked up maybe 3 or 4 yards on that, so it's going to be 4th down and 9. So a punting situation here for Marathon. Stride and Butt can drop back for this punt. The snap is decent this time, and the punt's away. It's another wobbler. They're going to let it bounce, and Butt's going to grab it dangerously, and then he's going to be wrapped up for his trouble. He would have been better off to let that one go. Instead, he picked it up, bobbled it for a moment, and then had 4 or 5 white jerseys pound on him, and it'll be Edgar football at their own 40. Yeah, at the 40-yard line is where they'll mark it. Ag Country is one of our great sponsors. Ag Country Farm Credit Services, a farmer-owned co-op offering a wide array of custom financing and financial services. From loans and leases to crop insurance and tax and records, they have you covered. Contact Ag Country in Stevens Point to get started. Wildcats come to the line. New quarterback for the Wildcats. That's Tucker Strite in there at quarterback. The freshman quarterback, as there are some reserves in the game now for Edgar. William Hackles in the backfield. Dawson Bornheimer in there. Corey Keppel, a sophomore, in there on the offensive line. We'll try to pick up some of the other numbers for you. Tucker Strite under center. Pitch it. We'll try the left side and trying to get it around the corner. That's Hackle, and he gets knocked out of bounds. Maybe picked up a yard on that. Tough yard for Hackle.
Brought down by Mason Seahafer and Tyler Underwood.
3rd down and 9 here for the Wildcats. Clock continues to move in running time. 5:54 to play. Corey Schilling, junior, in there on the offensive line here for Edgar. And they're going to try to pitch the right side this time, try to get it around the corner. Maverick Butt, he cuts it back, and then he's going to be down. Only picked up about a yard or 2 on that. Ran a long way to pick up a couple of yards. It's going to be a 4th down and a punting situation for Edgar. 4th down and about 7. And Edgar will punt it away here with 5:11 to play. Coming up, the Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds at Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or check them out at nasonvilledairy.com. We'll try to catch up with head coach Jerry Sins and find a player of the game as well to get into the highlight house after this one. And the Haynerfuss with the punt. It's a line drive. It's going to be a good one. Going to go over the heads of the receivers and roll dead at about the 15-yard line. Good punt by Haynerfuss right there. Line drive, but he got some distance on that one. And Marathon is pinned deep in their own territory at the 15-yard line. Some reserves in on defense for Edgar. Preston Dahlke in there. Corey Schilling coming in. They do have some of the starters still in there. Keegan Hartway still in there. Tegan Strite in the defensive backfield. Schuett is still in there at his defensive back spot. And they're going to hand it off to Annis and try to get around the right side, and he is going to be swamped under, trying to break tackles, but goes down at about the 12. Lost yardage. Maybe no gain on the play. Call it 2nd down and 10. We've got a flag that flew in there, I believe. And now another one. Usually when that second one comes in late, it's because somebody said the magic words. Let's see if there's an unsportsmanlike on top of whatever the original penalty was. Yeah. Or are they going to call penalties on both teams? It's going to be personal foul against both teams. So offsetting penalties here.
Offsetting personal fouls.
Clock continues to roll, running time, 2:52 to play. So they'll mark the ball at the 12-yard line where it's 2nd down and 10 for Marathon.
That's going to bring up 2nd and 14.
It's been a pretty good defensive game here in the second half. The defenses have played pretty well. Only one touchdown here in this second half, one score in this second half. Now they try the counter play. This worked very well. The fake, everybody went for the fake, and Marathon's going to pick up nearly first down yardage. Seehafer on the carry. Everybody went with Annis on the fake, and that allowed Seehafer to take it and pick up a first down. That was a pretty good design play right there and run well by Marathon, and they get the first down on the run by Seehafer, and it's 1st down and 10 for the Raiders.
At their own 26-yard line.
That counter play has got to be sold well, and if it is, it can get big yardage, and it did right there. Two receivers split wide right now as we go on under 2 minutes to play. They're going to hand it off to Annis this time. He had a big hole in the middle. Now he breaks a tackle, breaks another, and he is going to be knocked down, but not before he picks up first down yardage. Making the stop there, Brock Maurer in on defense. The sophomore makes the stop. And another first down for Marathon as we go down to 1:23 to play in this one.
13 on the play gives Marathon 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line.
So we've got a few more plays to go, and that will wrap this one up. We'll find out tomorrow on the announcement show on Bally Sports who Edgar will play in the first round of the playoffs. I would imagine they're going to get a home game. And now it's going to be a handoff, and that was a misfire in the backfield. It's going to be thrown for a loss. Backup receiver getting, backup running back getting a. Is that a final? We've got a final score. Auburndale 20, Colby 14. Is that a final, or is that just a 1:35 left in that Auburndale-Colby game? Auburndale leading 20-14. That run for Marathon was Braden Sturm. Senior got into the act there, got the ball, got knocked down after a loss of 1. This may be the final play of the game as Marathon lines up. And a new quarterback, and they're going to throw it down the middle of the field. It's going to be caught as the pass made is caught down the middle of the field. And that's how this game will come to an end. So, Edgar gets the job done here tonight, taking care of Marathon by a score of 35-0. Avery Normington got him started, a 64-yard touchdown reception on the first play from scrimmage from Tegan Strite. The second play they had from scrimmage resulted in a Carter Butt 62-yard touchdown run. Colby Weisenberger with 2 touchdowns in the second quarter, a 7-yard run and a 5-yard run, and Jace Applebeck with a 45-yard run in the fourth quarter, and the score is 35-0. Coming up, it's the Nasonville Dairy postgame show. Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds from Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or NasonvilleDairy.com. I'm Tom King. That's your final score tonight. Edgar 35 and Marathon nothing. You've been watching Marathon Edgar football on Zaleski Sports.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com. All right, so we're here with Kim Hyman. Kim, Nasonville Dairy, 125 years in the making. Tell us about that.
You know, it's fantastic. It was the first plant built in Wood County back in 1885. Sal Nason and his family came here, and they started a small dairy plant. Eventually that plant burnt down, but then they rebuilt onto this same facility, and our family moved here in the late 60s in 1968 and took it over from there, and it's been just a fantastic growth. Great community, great people we have working for us. Oh, it's an open market. It's huge. You know, the opportunity for the diversity in the cheese industry is fantastic, and you have to be that way in order to sell a lot of product. And so we've got a great group of people working on the research and development side for us. So it's been really fortunate for us. Oh, right. We have 185 farm families that market their milk through us here at Nasonville Dairy. And we are so lucky we have like the best dairy farms in not only in central Wisconsin, but in the United States, marketing milk through us. So we're just really fortunate on that side.
Actually, we started in 1968. Our father brought us here from another cheese plant in Wisconsin. We had come from the cheese business. We've always been in the business. We had moved around the state in different parts. He brought us here about that time. The plant ran 7,500 pounds of milk at that time, and now runs about 1.5 million a day. So. We originally started out with making cheddar, and now we make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers cheese, pizza cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Caflateri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda Edam and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
At Express Employment Professionals, we place people from all walks of life in all kinds of jobs.
Hi, welcome to Express. Please sign in and have a seat.
Great, thanks. Great, thanks. Great, thanks. Great, thanks.
Stone Innovations, home of Wisconsin's largest granite and quartz selection, is now featuring the best stones shopping experience in the state. Our brand new indoor facility allows for a home-like, comfortable atmosphere. Choose from hand-picked stone from around the world and select the perfect look for your dream kitchen in the best lighting possible. Then sit down with our free design services to customize the look of your kitchen. Our projects come with a lifetime warranty. Stone Innovations, Wisconsin's granite and quartz leader. Appleton, Rhinelander, Clover, Madison.
Grassland Dairy Products is your match for an exciting new career today. Go to grassland.com to see the opportunities waiting for you. Browse through careers like CDL truck driver, shipping and receiving, line tech, quality assurance, forklift, maintenance tech, inventory associates, and more. Great compensation, weekly pay, and zero premium company paid health, dental, and life. Apply now at grassland.com or in person at Grassland Dairy Products, Fairground Avenue, just south of Greenwood.
What Heartland Farms is a large potato and vegetable operation. Who Heartland Farms is a group of hardworking, dedicated people who have a common vision.
Heartland Farms is an accumulation of individuals who came from family farm backgrounds, grew up on family farms, and now have come together as one larger team to own and manage a much larger farm enterprise.
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. Or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at maidacustom.com.
When buying or selling land, the biggest decision you make is choosing your representation. Whitetail Properties is the top real estate company for selling hunting land, recreational properties, and farms. Our nationwide network of sportsmen, farmers, and investors offers a great opportunity for you to capitalize on the true market value of your property. In central Wisconsin, Brian Roosh is your local land specialist and is ready to help you get started on all of your property needs.
Oh, yeah. No, not crazy. Yeah.
All right, Nasonville postgame show. We're here with Edgar head coach Jerry Sins. Well, I really liked you giving the call to the senior on the first play from scrimmage, and they made it work to Avery Normington.
Yeah, it worked well. We're happy for him. He's worked hard all year. He's played some good defense. I don't know if that was his first touchdown pass of the year or not, but it worked well, and he's fast, and he's a good receiver, so I was really happy for him on senior night.
As you said, he made some good hits on defense, too. That Annis is a tough load to bring down, but your guys made some good open field tackles against him and held him to not very many rushing yards tonight.
Yeah, Avery particularly on his side, played the corner well. He got outside a couple of times on us on the other side, but overall, yeah, we did. They're a good offense, so to shut them out, we had to play some good defense.
You've got just a handful of seniors on that team. I guess tell us what they've meant to the program coming through.
Well, they've been great leaders, and they've worked hard this year, and so I'm really proud of them, and I'm really happy for them tonight. After hearing that other score, that they got to share the conference championship too.
Yeah, that's got to be exciting. It never gets old, does it?
No, that was great.
And now you head to the playoffs, and apparently they're going to keep everything secret until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, so not much sleep tonight, I guess.
Probably not.
Congratulations. Good luck. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
That's Edgar head coach Jerry Sins. We're going to try to get Avery Normington over here for the postgame show and get him in the house because he really had a nice game tonight for the senior night. And here he comes. Well, they really must have enjoyed getting your number called on the first play from scrimmage on senior night, and the ball hung up there a little bit, but you were able to make the play and get the touchdown.
Yeah, it was a really good play design. Tegan just threw it up there, and the original, it was supposed to go to Carter, but when I saw it in the air, I'm like, okay, let's go get it.
You don't get a lot of passes thrown your way in this offense, but boy, I'll tell you what, you've made some good catches this year. It's got to be fun when that does come your way.
Mm-hmm. Sin says that once the ball is thrown to you, you got to go get it because it doesn't happen often.
I wanted to talk about the defensive side of the ball, too. You made some really nice open field tackles on a really tough running back. I mean, Annis is a load, and you played really good on defense tonight. That's got to be fun, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Annis is a fast guy, big guy, so Sins always tells us to hit him low so then we don't get rocked over.
You know how the highlight house thing works?
Yeah.
Look right up there.
I'm Avery Normington, and I'm in the house.
Thanks a lot. Well, that's going to wrap things up here from Edgar tonight. A really happy group as the Wildcats win a share of the conference title with that Auburndale win over Colby, and they beat Marathon here tonight by a score of 35-0. This is Tom King. Thanks for watching. You've been watching Edgar Marathon Football on Zaleski Sports.